What is up, guys? This is the Overleveled podcast, episode 40. It's been a while. A lot of shit happened. Went to New York. Then I had family over and all that. Room was taken over because of family, which made me sad because I wasn't able to live stream that whole week with my my actual equipment and using a regular PS4, which was no go for me. But I had to do it nonetheless. It's great to be back, and we gotta cover some of these things that we have missed. And I guess we could start off with all the things that have happened with Spider-Man, and they showed a lot from us not being able to be on. And start off the Comic-Con trailer, and I felt like that Comic-Con trailer was very good. And we had like Silver Sable in the mix, which I thought they originally announced Silver Sable in the game, but I guess I was wrong for thinking that. And I was just like, oh, okay. So she's introduced into it, and I like that aspect and how she'll fit into it. I would be very intrigued with that, as well as they're just having more and more surprises, and they even have stated like several times that they have even more surprises that they're not gonna share. And they're still not sharing where Peter's working at, and who's the actual like main villain for Spider-Man PS4 and all that. And I just find that very interesting. And we got more like snippets for the Spider-Man PS4 Pro bundle, which I have pre-ordered, of course, and that does come with the digital pack, which is like you get the story chapter expansions, which I didn't think so. I thought I would have to actually open my collectors just to get it. No, it comes with the Spider-Man PS4 Pro bundle as well, and as well with the collector's edition. And I got that because I'm geeking out for Spider-Man. My hype is getting up there for that game, and I just can't wait to see more for that. And they even showed off the Velocity suit, which I very much enjoyed. It was their own costume that they made. I was like, oh, this is from some sort of other comic. No, this was an Insomniac made costume, which I hope there is more Insomniac made costumes, because I would love to see more creative costumes from them. And as well as after like the Comic-Con trailer, they did show like the open world and how Spider-Man interacts with the other civilians and all that. And J. Jonah Jameson narrating and stuff like that. I just found that very funny, because that's the type of character he is. And also we did see the combat, and when they talked about suit powers, in my mind I wasn't thinking like what they've showed, right? I was thinking suit powers in terms of the armor will give you extra durability or extra damage or more agility or faster swings. That's what I got from it. I don't know, other people did. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's actually really cool that there is an actual power and ability for that suit. And dude, I really love that Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider costume. It looked really, really nice. And I just found that awesome. And what else did they show? And yeah, I think there's going to be another trailer for Spider-Man next week. And yes, there are copies out in the wild, because they're in the warehouses and stuff like that. And there have been pictures being taken and stuff like that. People are working at warehouses, for like Walmart, GameStop and all those places, and distributing centers and all that. And Sony is going in with the marketing, right? We see the marketing, and it's insane. Just that they did this whole subway Manhattan with Spider-Man, and having like that little like plastic statue type thing there too, and in the inside, and having like the newspaper, the Daily Bugle, and the spider symbols on the seats and stuff like that. And I think the marketing is way more than God of War, and God of War had really good marketing. They're pushing this game so hard, Sony is, and you know, it just shows the level of excitement, and it's perfect for Manhattan because of Spider-Man as the character, and Manhattan, Queens, and all that as well, and I love like the swinging animations as well, and you're able to do tricks in the air, which I just can't wait to see more of that and doing that. I think what I'm gonna love most about that game is the swing and getting lost in the city, and seeing how much attention to detail as well that each building has, and like the landmarks and all that you may recognize in New York City. And I just found that like the open world just looks stunning. And you compare this to any other Spider-Man game that has come out, and it doesn't have that level of attention to detail. And if Activision were to make another Spider-Man game, it would have never been like this. If we would be completely honest with ourselves, this wouldn't have never happened, and we would have gotten another situation from Beanox of like the Amazing Spider-Man games, or Spider-Man Edge of Time. It would not have been that great. And I just can't wait to get my hands on the game. And hearing from GameStop, the day before, there may be a 9 p.m. launch for Spider-Man PS4 that before GameStop closes, that you'll get your consoles and games, or they might hold a midnight party as well and midnight launch, and you can celebrate with Spider-Man coming over. And I just find that awesome. And yeah, I guess we'll start off with Claudia and what you think about the whole, going from Comic-Con to now, and with what they've revealed and what they've shown.
Right. So for what we've seen from Comic-Con to now, I think it's a little bit of a downgrade. I mean, they've tried to polish it up and it kind of flopped. I'm really excited, of course, with the flips and everything. The suitabilities is amazing. Like from the the Spider-Punk rock ability to the 2 holograms, which look really cool. But I also like the fact that the combat looks really, really cool. I'm not gonna lie about that. The only thing that's really gonna find frustrating is to find those backpacks, which is frustrating. It's gonna be frustrating to find those.
Yeah, didn't they say that also explain those 8 years of Peter Parker and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So you get more backstory into that.
Yeah. So there'll be more backstory into those backpacks, and plus there's like web shooters. I don't know if you could use like use the web shooters that the classic web shooters. I'm not sure which they showed at, I believe, at E3. But in Comic-Con though, I mean, what they showed really cool, and then the last couple of trailers, it got me hooked onto buying the game. So I've pre-ordered the console, and I'm getting the PlayStation 4 Slim Edition Spider-Man bundle, and I can't wait. So,
all right, Marvel DC fan, what do you think from the Comic-Con announcements to now?
For me personally, I mean, I've been really enjoying what they've been showing us since Comic-Con. I mean, the PS4 Pro bundle, like, it looks really awesome. The Comic-Con trailer was really good. I didn't like it as much as everybody else did, but that's just me. The Velocity suit, I love that. They came out with a launch trailer not too long ago, and I didn't really like that trailer, but I've been enjoying the J. Jonah Jameson trailers. And I cannot wait for September 7th. There's no midnight launch party for me, so that's kind of sad. And all those PS4s are sold out, so I'm weeping a little bit.
Yeah, gotcha. Were you surprised, though? I forgot to ask that. Were you surprised when they were talking about like suitabilities and suit powers? Were you thinking like along the terms of like I was thinking like, oh, it's just like stronger punch, or more health, or taking more damage resistance and all that?
Yeah, I guess like I kind of figured that would be like the kind of powers, like the suit abilities, like extra damage or like extra kind of stealth for say like the velocity suit or whatever. So, and I like the fact that like it's not tailored to just one suit. You can switch them around between
Yep.
any suit. So that's awesome.
What about you, Inspector? For all the news that has come out for Spider-Man, you know what sticks out the most and all that.
To be honest, I haven't really been following it that much, just because like I'm already sold on the game and I don't need more marketing
Yeah.
to like to push me towards it. But like I liked the Comic-Con trailer was good. I thought the gameplays were a bit lackluster. Like the boss fight that we saw with Shocker was really lackluster. I wasn't really impressed with that at all. I thought the trailer was good. I watched the only trailer I've watched is the combat one, like that has been coming out since Comic-Con, the one with like J. Jonah Jameson. I like that trailer. And I like how different suits have different abilities. That's cool. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say.
Okay. Do you think the marketing is higher, or you think Sony's spending more marketing than they have with God of War?
Oh yeah, definitely.
No.
Yeah.
And one more. You think that if we're gonna talk about both games, do you think Spider-Man will outsell God of War?
Yes, just because of how popular he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's still hype coming off of Infinity War, even though that's like 4 months old at this point. But people are still talking about Infinity War, and Spider-Man was big in that movie. And plus, they have the suit from Infinity War. So
yeah, sure. Gotcha. All right, now I gotta talk about Xbox. Oof. Gamescom was a bit for Xbox. I watched it. Don't know if you guys have, and man, it was very
rough.
Yeah, it was rough. Documentaries on PUBG, documentaries on Haven, Fireteam Raven, for Dave and Buster's. Even though like I straight up was the same day I did go to Dave and Buster's and I did play that Halo Fireteam Raven for it. And it seemed like Forza got a downgrade. Forza Horizon, the new one, compared to the E3 that was just recently shown. And hopefully they say that's the S version of Xbox One. I don't think so. I think it's going to be the X. And yeah, not many new games have been shown. They announced a bunch of bundles. And I got to talk about their custom bundle for Battlefield 1. Now, that was not a good Why I say Battlefield 1? Battlefield 5. That was not a good one. I'm going to be completely honest with that, just because I just don't know what they're doing at this point in terms of like the bundles or the like special edition. And I really want to show it and see, like, okay, here we go. No, we don't need all that. See if I can get that. All right, let's share that screen real quick. So you guys can all see that. Okay. This is the custom bundle. Like, this is like the special edition. Like, you would get like a Spider-Man PS4 Pro special edition, Kingdom Hearts special edition, those consoles, or the 500 million, which we'll talk about, PS4 Pro special edition. This just looks bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
like it doesn't even have a vinyl or anything.
Yeah, it's just like, this is what they came up with. It's just, man. And the rest are just bundles. Tomb Raider bundle. What's a Forza bundle? And you would think it would be a Forza Horizon custom, console. No, it's just a regular bundle. I was like, gosh dang. That's insane. And yeah, it was overall no new game announcements. The only thing that I really liked was Devil May Cry 5, which is coming out March 8th, which is looking awesome. That Resident Evil 7 engine is doing that game justice, because I was just super amazed on the level of details of graphics of that game. I can't wait to get on my PC. But overall, man, hopefully there's rumors. Take this with a grain of salt. Xbox is supposed to have their own PlayStation experience, which, if they are, because that's a fan event, they need to announce that soon. Because you cannot just plan a fan event just out of nowhere in a couple months and expect everyone to just come out. PlayStation Experience was announced around, I want to say E3, and say, all right, PlayStation, get your tickets for PlayStation Experience, December, whatever. They haven't done this with this rumor, so I highly doubt with that rumor. But Gamescom for them was a bust. It was cringe, and it did not help Microsoft at all. Taladio, what do you think for Microsoft's Gamescom? I don't know if you watched it or you heard the news about it.
I heard the news about it, and to be honest with you, it's really, really bad. The bundles they're giving, it's bad from a marketing standpoint compared to what PlayStation is offering. Like, PlayStation's got offering more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've got Spider-Man as a bundle. I'm sure they're gonna come up with Red Dead Redemption 2 as a bundle.
Yeah, Black Ops 4 and all that stuff.
Black Ops 4, FIFA 19.
They have a Kingdom Hearts coming out in January. PS4 Pro limited edition.
Yeah, so you got all those bundles, and I feel as if Xbox has missed out the opportunity for bundles what they could have had. I mean, yeah, sure, you're gonna release PUBG on a full game thing, but is it gonna really do well? No.
Yeah. And the freaking video for PUBG had a PlayStation 4 Pro in the Xbox video. The developers had a PS4 Pro, so that game's coming to PlayStation soon.
Yeah,
so I'm wondering how it's gonna do.
So that's gonna come to PlayStation, and it's the whole thing is just what Xbox has offered is just bad, real bad this year at Gamescom. And I think, in the next coming years, next year and the year after is a big crucial year for Xbox. If there's no success with the games they've announced, then PlayStation has won yet again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Inspector? Did you hear the news, and what do you think about Microsoft as a whole for Gamescom going forward and all that?
To be honest, I didn't follow Gamescom because I even forgot it was going on because there's no marketing whatsoever.
Yeah.
Mainly because Gamescom is pretty much a dead convention anyway these days. It wasn't as big as it was, let's say, in 2014, 2013, back when it actually mattered. But as for the Xbox thing, yeah, that sounds pretty bad. I would be disappointed if I was a Xbox fan.
Yep. What about you, DC fan? What do you think?
I mean, I'm not the same as Inspector. I really I didn't even know that Gamescom was kind of going on or anything about that. I haven't seen anything. The only gaming news that I've seen in the last week or so that isn't Spider-Man was that Spyro got delayed till November.
Yeah,
I'm kind of sad about that.
Well, yeah, the whole reason for that is because Activision was kind of rushing them, and a lot of people didn't like the fact that one game is only going to be on the physical disc and the other two games were going to be digital, and they were forcing Activision to delay the game so they could polish the rest of the third game and that they can be on the whole entire physical disc. And actually Activision, listened for once. So I'm surprised about that.
Yeah.
They were smart.
Well, anyway, still going to be excited when the game comes out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What else? Oh, yeah. So, not going to lie, completely free. Red Dead 2 released a trailer. And everyone was saying, gameplay. There has to be some gameplay. I was the one who has to say it. I'm worried about this game. Where's the gameplay? I know like Rockstar beats to their own drum. Where's the game? And I liked it. I liked it. You know, it looks very fluid. The graphics look stunning for Red Dead 2. And I was just like seeing it and seeing that so many things to do, and you know, being able to rob places and being able to decide to kill someone, not to kill someone if it later, you know, affects your own like little story, right? And they're supposed to be talking about more of the missions later as well. They're gonna have another trailer for that, and I just can't wait for that game. And game looks just awesome, and I think the gameplay looks fluid, and I think there's so much like life to the world for Red Dead 2, like with the animals and stuff. And you know, you have like snow areas and all that, and I'm just super hyped for them. And yeah, I do think, you know, Black Ops 4 and Battlefield, like those were the reasons that game forced Activision and EA's hand to move their games and not have it anywhere near Red Dead 2. So that's just me. Claudia, what do you think about Red Dead 2 and its trailer?
It looks really good. Red Dead Redemption 2 is looking to be one of those games that I think personally will be a huge success in profit-wise. I mean, I saw the trailer, the 6-minute trailer. I was just like, wow, lots to do, and of course it's multiplayer. So I can't wait to play the multiplayer aspect of things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
What about you, Melvin TC fan? What do you think?
Yeah, you know, like I watched a little bit of the Red Dead stuff earlier today, and it looks really good. Like, I'm gonna have to play the first game again just to get myself familiarized. But I mean, I can't wait for the game to come out.
Yeah. What about you, Inspector? Have you seen the trailer for Red Dead 2?
Yeah, I thought it looked cool. It looked fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not really versed in Red Dead as much as you guys are because I didn't play the first game, but I know this one's a prequel. But it looks really cool. It looks great. Like, the graphics look amazing, and there's definitely looks like there's a lot to do. So it looked cool.
Yeah. Another set of gaming news. Sony announced recently that they have sold 500 million PlayStation systems. This goes for like PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, PSP, Vita, PSVR. And that is insane. 500 million. And, you know, to celebrate that, you know, they had a like really limited edition, only 50,000 units are sold of the PlayStation 4 Pro. And this it was $500, 2 terabyte, 4K HDR. And wow, the console looks stunning. And shoot, I was like, people have like a real beauty of a PS4 Pro if they have that. And it has like the number of like which PlayStation 4 Pro you got out of the 50,000. And yeah, it looks really good. And shoot, you may not want to open that box because, you know, you might be able to sell that a lot, you know, later as a collector's item. And, you know, with like the little gold plate for the number and stuff. Yeah, I think that was a really, really nice looking console for PlayStation 4 Pro. Overall, I'm happy for, you know, PlayStation's success, and hopefully they'll continue to be in the gaming market. Talati, have you seen the PlayStation 4 Pro 500 million edition?
Yes, I have. I've seen the unboxing as well. My thoughts on it is just that it looks really, really cool. Of course, if you get the special numbers like coming, if you keep the console but don't unbox it, like, you know, tear it apart, and you'd look at the number and be like, okay, I've got this number. Come to the near future, let's say 2 or 3 years, you could earn up. I think it could be £1,000, near £2,000, depending on what number you have. So, for example, the release of the original PlayStation 4, the date for that if you have that number, you'll be able to sell that. You'll be able to sell that at a very good price, and pretty much I believe that. And I think the console, the way it looks, the design looks really, really cool. The only thing is, do they need a 2 terabyte hard drive? I'm like, no, not really. That's my honest opinion. It's just like they don't need a 2 terabyte hard drive. I mean, they could have just stuck with one and still sold it off like that. And it would have been proper. Really, it would have done really well.
All right, Marvel DC fan, have you seen this system, and what do you think?
Yes, I have, and it looks fantastic. I mean, like, I mean, everything about it just looks cool, and I would kill to have one somewhere in my house. So.
Gotcha. What about you, Inspector? Have you seen it, and what do you think?
I actually just looked it up because I didn't see it up until now, and it actually looks really good. It's a really nice looking system, and that's definitely a collector's item if you get it. So, definitely.
And I think they're also selling the controllers separately. I don't know how limited that is because the PlayStation 4 Pro 500 million edition is 50,000 units. I don't know how many units that controller will be, though. So I will get that controller. I really want that controller, though, I'm not going to lie. And hopefully I can, get it and use that for my PS4 Pro. All right. Another set of news. Battlefield 5 and pre-order sales are low, 85% less than Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which is not good. This is maybe the lowest pre-order sales to date for any Battlefield entry, and it's competing against a game that does not even have a campaign, which is crazy and mind-boggling. And I do think, partly to blame is EA and DICE. Okay, somewhat treating their fans the way they are. It's like, my thing is this, right? The way you handle the controversy of women and, on the front lines, that's their own business. That's the own business between the fan and the developer. And then the prosthetic, don't understand that when it's like, realistic. Them saying it's supposed to be realistic and it's not. It's not Metal Gear Solid. Okay, you can't have a prosthetic in World War II like that. But my thing is this: don't say your fans then don't buy it, because then it just kind of doesn't show any course of talking between the consumer and the developer. Then you're just shutting the ties of potential consumers that want that talk of saying, okay, why is it that what makes me want to buy that game and all them. I just don't think they should treat their fans and say, don't buy that game then. Because then things like this might happen, or there's all the contributing factors. And I'm playing devil's advocate right now in general. And it could be there's a lot of games coming out. You got Spider-Man. You got Red Dead 2. You got Call of Duty. Are they being sandwiched in between all these games? And that's a contributing factor. So it could be with the backlash, could be with this, or it could just be just being sandwiched in. We don't know. No one would really know. Just like with the Han Solo stuff. Was it because of boycotting? Was it because no one was really interested? Or was it because there were a lot of other movies? But those are my 2 cents of contributing factors and whatnot. Talada, what do you think about the pre-order sales being that low and being 85% less than Call of Duty Black Ops 4?
Well, that was going to be inevitable because COD is a really, really popular game, right? And what game was it again?
Battlefield 5.
Well, think about it, right? COD obviously it's got a very much hyped up game, and it's a console exclusive for certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is Battlefield, though.
Yeah, Battlefield's a big name. Battlefield 1 was like very competitive with was it Infinite Warfare, right?
But the thing is with that is that Battlefield 1 did come out like 7 months before Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, it did. But with Black Ops 4, it's a popular Black Ops. Just the name Black Ops is a popular name. So think about it. The guys who are making Black Ops 4 are, I think, it's because of what they have brought to the table, seeming as the beta and everything, what people got to play. They probably thought, okay, this is a really fun game to get, and probably thought, why don't we just get Black Ops 4 instead of Battlefield 1? Sorry, Battlefield 5. Even though that had a beta too, so
my thing is they should have like it should have been very like competitive in terms of sales because dude, Black Ops is like handicapped with no campaign. Like you would think, right? That that gives like an edge, a little edge to Battlefield 5, but it doesn't seem like that's the case at all.
No, I think it's because the way they've changed the gameplay and the way things are with that Black Ops 4. Because I've seen the gameplay too, and I'm just like, you know what? They have really changed the game in certain way that it can be competitive. It can be a competitive game again, because it's no longer auto healing. You have to self heal within the game now, and I think that's the most competitive thing when you have to play when you're playing in a multiplayer game with friends, or even if you're playing in the COD World Championship. That's going to be the main factor. The key is healing. So, with Battlefield 5, that's auto healing, and that is obviously set in the World War. But this is not. This is like modern for Black Ops 4. So I think that's where the slight difference is. And many people probably thought, okay, we don't want another World War game, but we want to see a different thing and different aspect, and possibly see some different features that possibly would actually give the edge for Black Ops. And I think that actually paid off for the developers for Black Ops.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me.
Okay. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think?
I don't really have anything to say on the topic, if I'm honest.
Okay, I gotcha. What about you, Inspector? What do you think?
Is it concerning for Battlefield? I would say yes, but I don't think it's like it's not gonna break the game. Like it's not gonna break the franchise, I should say, because when you look at Battlefield, I don't think Battlefield has ever sold on par with Call of Duty. Call of Duty's always been more popular than Battlefield, even though people have said like the fan bases are pretty splintered, but even like casual gamers, I think, have gravitated towards Battlefield in the most recent years, just because I think Call of Duty has lost kind of popularity. It is concerning that it's. Did you say like 75% less than Battlefield
85.
85?
85% Battlefield 5 is 85% less pre-orders than Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
And I think that's mainly because maybe some Battlefield fans were put off by Battlefield 1, because I know it was kind of divisive in the fan base. But like I don't know if that could like make the jump like that far down. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Like I've kind of lost interest in first-person shooters like entirely, so like I don't really care. But
no, I got you. So, Doom Eternal, that was shown off, and oof, that game. Oh gosh. Let me give the correct terminology. It just made me chuckle. It made me chuckle a lot, what they said, and it triggered a lot of people. And let me pull this out. I think it's the official gameplay reveal. Give me a sec. I don't want to give like the incorrect thing they say. Okay. Search this up. Doom Eternal. Okay, so one of the things that the hologram that said something like demon is an offensive term, please refer to them as mortally challenged. And they were making fun of like people that like get offended super easily and stuff like that. And I just found that funny. And then a lot of people just just got their like feelings hurt, right? And I was just like, it's a joke, it's a joke. You got to take a chill pill. And is it in this like climate or I want to say in general, is it that we're not able to take jokes at all? We had a Colin situation, right? Colin Moriarty, and he made a joke, and he gets backlash, right? Do you think that even as game developers, that no one can really say a joke, and then they have to now not really say many jokes? We'll go with like Inspector.
Are you talking about what CG Project said?
Oh, even both. Well, we know what CD Projekt Red. We'll talk about both. Like, how like Doom essentially said, a demon may be an offensive term. Please refer to them as mortally challenged, or something like along the lines of that. And it's a joke. It's nothing like this and that. And then the same thing with CD Projekt Red with like the screenshots, and they were saying he or she or whatever that they were saying for the screenshot. It's like, did you assume their gender as a joke? And a lot of people gave them backlash.
Yeah,
like a lot of like the don't want to put the term SJW, but a lot of the people that get very offended easily. I seen the replies, and it's insane what they said and continue to say. But that's just me.
Yeah. What I gotta say is that, do people get offended easily nowadays? I would say yes, but then again, they should know this and kind of think before they say a joke, because like it's partly their fault too. They can't just blame it on the people because they were the ones that said the joke. And like you have to know what's tasteful and distasteful, especially in the entertainment industry, since the entertainment industry as a whole has gone through a bunch of things lately in the last year with all the sexual assault stuff and the Me Too movement and all that stuff. That's not just Hollywood. That's like the entire entertainment industry as a whole. So I think that's just stupid of both of them, both of the companies, on their part, because they just didn't gauge the taste meter on their jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think CD Projekt Red, they had to go back and say, "Oh, we apologize," but Bethesda didn't even care. They were just like, "You didn't like the joke. You didn't like the joke,"
Yeah, I think CD Projekt handled it better than Bethesda.
I mean, for me, I don't get offended.
Like I don't get offended easily. Like I don't get offended. Like I don't get offended that easily. Like if it's that type of joke, then it's kind of like, even though it's kind of distasteful, it's kind of innocent. It's not like the James Gunn jokes, which are like really weird. But like, I don't want to get into James Gunn again because that's just a topic that's been discussed to death. But yeah, like the jokes were innocent enough, but they were still kind of distasteful.
I mean, I don't know. I had no position. It was just like I just don't get offended. It's like someone could say something like "your mom," and I just don't care. I'm like, cool, bro. That was a good one. Something like that. I just like I don't get offended at all in that like sense, and I don't know. Maybe it's the way I grew up and all that, and I know some other people that don't get offended like that, but I don't know. I'm in that like group where I'm just like I can understand where it goes too far. For me, it just I wasn't like thinking it did for me, but I can understand if some people are getting too offended. But still, I do think people need to take a step back and say, "Oh, that's still a joke." You know, like Dave Chappelle makes some funny jokes and stuff like that, and some people get offended by that. A lot of people get offended by comedians. And I just think comedians are trying to tell jokes. But whatever. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about those situations with Doom and with CD Projekt Red?
I mean, like, people nowadays is just like they hear anything and just they take everything to heart. So not only is it like it's just kind of bad for both parties because like it's people needing to like just understand like it's a joke and it should be treated as such. And also it's just like from developers like it's yeah, it's hard to put into words, but a certain taste to jokes. So it should be like they really have to think long and hard about what could be suitable without having people offended by it. So.
Gotcha. What about you, Talati? What do you think?
I've got nothing to add from what you have said, Red Hood, because I'll just blow it off. It's simple.
Gotcha. So after talking about all that and just making sure that we did not miss any other game. Oh, completely forgot that you're getting the Walking Dead season 1 on the Nintendo Switch. You're also getting Saints Row 3, Saints Row the third port, which I don't think anyone asked for that for Nintendo Switch. And I was just like, huh, it is what it is. Also, Supermassive, the people that did Until Dawn, they're doing the Dark Pictures, Man of Medan, and it's going to be a multi-platform game. It looks very interesting, and I will definitely check that game out because it's going to be awesome. And what else? Okay. I think that is it for what was really, important for Gamescom and for the gaming news in general, atmosphere and all that. But what do you guys think for like I guess the Nintendo Switch ports and stuff, and also like Diablo, like the physical copy is like $65, whereas the physical copy for Diablo is like 40 something dollars or something like that for like PlayStation 4 and all that. PlayStation 4, Xbox One. And we'll go with Marvel DC fan.
Well, starting off with Diablo, I mean, it's weird that it's just differently priced than like PS4 and whatever else. I think like if you're gonna put it out on all those systems, they should be the same price. Unless like something mechanically in the game is different about one of them, like they took away something, but in any case, it should still be the same price, whether it be physical or digital. And like in terms of the ports coming out, like Saints Row Third, that's just like that's out of place. Like I don't know why or like who would ask for that in particular. But like Walking Dead season 1, I mean, I would have put like the Walking Dead collection with like the first like 3 seasons plus Michonne.
Yeah, they were saying, I believe, that seasons 2 on A New Frontier will be coming out sooner or something like that for this year.
Interesting. Yeah, but for me personally, I just want to put them all on the same like disc or whatever they're doing for that. But honestly, the only thing people should care about right now for the Nintendo Switch is when Smash Brothers comes out.
Yep. I got Octopath. That was a really good game. I haven't finished it. I need to actually finish that game. And
did you watch the Smash Direct?
Yeah, I watched the Smash Direct.
That was so awesome, wasn't it?
It was. I'll be getting Smash, of course, in December. Right when finals come out, which is the best time, of course.
I still gotta buy a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
late.
Late to the party, my man.
But I'm buying a laptop soon, so I'm focusing on that right now, and then I'm gonna go buy Switch afterwards.
Is the laptop just for your personal use or some other thing?
Personal use, like school, videos and all this sort of stuff. So it'll make things easier for sure.
All right. What about you, Talado? What do you think about those ports and also the supermassive games that made, Until Dawn and now are making a multi-platform game?
Well,
of the Dark Pictures, yeah.
Right. So firstly, the ports, before I talk about the other thing, because I don't know what the other thing you said entirely. So the ports, I think it's going to be a low rendition of the game. So it won't be a high-end spec like how we got the PlayStation 3. No, PlayStation. Was it PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360?
Are you talking for Saints Row the 3rd?
Yeah.
That came out for, Did they make a remaster for 3 though? I don't. Let me look real quick.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. That's Row 3 PS4. Let's see. No, they only did the Saints Row 4. Yeah, they only did Saints Row 4. So Saints Row 3 is only for PS3, 360, PC.
Right. It's going to be a low rendition to the game then. All the games which you've said, they're going to be low rendition. They're not going to be high-end spec. And I think people will just be giving their copy back as soon as they get the game. Because they had that same problem with WWE 2K18 where it was on the Switch and people complained about it. Because it wasn't a high-end thing. They tried to make it look as good as it is. And nope. They had to give the copy that customers return the copy of the game. They were like, no, we're not happy with it. So yeah. But the other thing with
supermassive games, they made Until Dawn, and they are making a game called The Dark Pictures Man of Medan. It's like a anthology, like very horror, like in the similar to Until Dawn, but it's like anthology means like different dark stories and dark horror things.
Right. With that, I think that one will get a good reception for horror gamers, so people who like into horror games. I think that will get a good reception, but I don't know how well the general public will take it though. That is my only concern for that game.
Yeah. What about you, Inspector? What do you think about these ports and supermassive games?
For the ports, I think I echo everyone else saying like they're just really out of left field, especially Saints Row. Like I don't think anyone asked for Saints Row on the Switch, and I don't think people would buy like the Switch for Saints Row. As for supermassive games, interesting. I never played Until Dawn, but it was an interesting like twist on a horror game, and I think that's the genre they strive in. So that's all I have to say about supermassive.
Gotta bring to attention Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I talked about this before we went live with them, but man, oh man, I am catching. I caught that 2D canister in the E3 demo becoming 3D magically when she picks it up. She jumps into the water and there's no splash. I'm just like, what is happening?
He's putting the pieces together. He has the whiteboard with all the lines.
Yeah, what is happening with this game development? I'm just wondering that, and like the graphics are on par with Rise of the Tomb Raider. I don't understand. Maybe it's because IDOS is making the game, but they helped make the Tomb levels for like each of the games. So I'm just confused as to why is that? Are the games not getting enough funds for the development cycle, right? Like, I have no idea at the moment. Because maybe Avengers is taking all that money. I don't know.
But yeah, they don't want to show Avengers for some reason.
Yeah, I think I got a little like idea whether, that's because, Spider-Man is, about to release, and I think after that they will. But this Tomb Raider, man, I think it'll be the worst one out of the bunch. And I've said it. I'm not getting the game. I'll be getting it once it goes on sale because I'm gonna buy Spider-Man. I'm gonna buy Red Dead, and I'm gonna buy Smash. This game it's yikes for me. Talati, what do you think about this?
About
Shadow of the Tomb Raider and like the problems and stuff, and no splash for the water when she jumps into the water.
It's a big yikers, really, because they tried to make a realistic game at E3, right, when they unveiled it. Mm-hmm. And then now it's like, you're not getting that. And I feel as if the money's been put towards Marvel's projects, but I feel as if they're going to push it towards the Avengers than the rumored Guardians of the Galaxy game, because of the whole situation with Disney and Marvel. So I believe what we're going to get is we're not going to get a really, really good polished Tomb Raider game, and I don't think this game would be as bad than the other ones. And I don't know what Square Enix is playing at. I really don't. It's becoming ridiculous coming from them. Like, first it was like Final Fantasy VII, it's not Final Fantasy VII, sorry, Kingdom Hearts, showing it at 3 different shows, and now this. So it's like, it's ridiculous. I really think it's going to be to the point where people are just going to get frustrated.
All right, Marvel DC fan, what do you think?
I mean, like, I could care less for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and I mean, even when it was announced, like, I didn't want any part of it, and hearing all this rep that it's getting from Gamescom, like, it doesn't like help my case like any further for me playing that game. So if I am gonna play it, I'll just wait till it goes like on sale. So I mean, the only games that I care about playing right now is like Spider-Man, Spyro, and then Smash when I get around to it.
What about you, Inspector? What do you think?
I pretty much got to echo what Marvel DC fan has to say. Like, I'm not really interested in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I've actually never played like the reboot Shadow of the Tomb Raider series. I've heard, like, it's weird because I heard great things about the first one. I heard like the second one, Rise, got great critical reception, but commercial reception was kind of middle of the road. And then this one, it just kind of looks, it kind of just looks like Rise, but just kind of downgraded.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's it for the gaming news for now. We're gonna really do want to talk really about some of the movie things, and then we're gonna go in the meat and potatoes for Comic-Con in of itself. Hans Zimmer is supposedly coming back out of retirement for superhero films to do the score for Wonder Woman 1984, which this is being reported by a Film Music Reporter via HansZimmer.com. So she didn't. Yeah, no, Hans Zimmer didn't do the score for the original Wonder Woman. So I just find it interesting that he's coming to do the second one, and maybe he heard about Wonder Woman 1984 and he liked it a lot, so he wanted to do the score. Maybe Patty Jenkins, asked him. I don't know. What happened there with him going into the score and what brought him out of retirement. I don't think anyone is going to know. Inspector, what do you think?
I'm kind of lukewarm on it. I know, like, every DCU fan is creaming their pants because it's Hans Zimmer, but like, to me, I like Hans Zimmer, but I think most of his scores, especially when it comes to big blockbusters, are really samey, very percussion heavy, very like epic, even though like he puts like epic scores behind scenes that aren't supposed to be epic.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that kind of like puts his, like, I loved his Batman v Superman score. I liked his Man of Steel score. But like the rest of his scores are kind of like the same. Like he doesn't really have a range.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. He kind of does the same thing, and it works. Like, it works for Christopher Nolan. It works for Zack Snyder. I don't know if it's going to work for Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like the first. I like the first score. Rupert Gregson-Williams, who did the first one. I like that score a lot, and he's doing. I think the reason why he's not returning for 1984 is because he's doing the score for Aquaman. So he was busy doing the score for Aquaman and now writing the score for Wonder Woman 1984. So I'm like, Hans Zimmer, fine. I'm just down the middle.
Yeah. All right. Marvel DC fan, what do you think?
I mean, I think like it's fine. Like he's done some good stuff, like Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, but like a lot of his like other scores, like they're okay. So I mean, I don't mind him on this movie.
Salati, what do you think?
Well, I think it's people aren't gonna notice, and I think he'll do a perfectly good job anyway, because he went into retirement, and now he's coming back. But I think he'll do a really good job in terms of getting the score right. I mean, I have to disagree with what Inspector said. I feel as if what Hans Zimmer will do is like he'll use some of the old score, but make it a little bit unique, a little bit. He'll tweak it a little bit. He won't do what what's his name?
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, he won't do what Danny Elfman did and just change the score completely and just put tiny bits of it. Nah. I think Hans Zimmer will put the full score in, and add like unique style to it. That's what Hans Zimmer's done.
I mean, I don't want to compare him to Danny Elfman because Danny Elfman came in
at
like,
the last
moment.
We can't just be like, hey, you're a shit composer now. No. I know some DCU fans have said that, or the world of DC, which we'll talk about, have said that, and it's like you got to remember it. This dude came in the last minute because they took off of Junkie XL's like all whatever he's done off, and he had to rescore really quick. And like, what do you expect in a rush job? Not many people really think that far ahead, and like that type of situation, and put themselves in that shoe.
It's just like what I've seen. It's just like what I've heard, I should say. It just makes me think that Hans Zimmer will do a good score. I feel as if, he's done it for The Lion King. He's done it for many other movies. So, hey, he could do something really good with Wonder Woman. So.
And I just realized, why do you say he was going to go into retirement? And then I completely forgot that we heard earlier this year, Evan Peters, I think he plays Quicksilver. Maybe
he plays Quicksilver in the X-Men movies.
Yeah, and that he let it slip that Zimmer's is scoring Dark Phoenix. So I'm just like, why do you say he's done with the superhero genre and now he's composing again for the superhero genre? I'm a bit confused as to why he said that.
Maybe he just said it to get attention because he's Hans Zimmer and he has that
Extra
kind of
firepower.
yeah.
Mm.
That's
I don't know, but
that makes sense.
it's kind of false advertising though, because you're saying you're retiring, but you're
You're
still
not.
doing scores.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we mean retirement, we're saying like for the superhero genre. Like
Yeah,
he'll
he's still
do
doing like Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go now into like the Comic-Con heavy things. Let's talk, and we'll talk really about the DC universe and the shows that were shown, which more in particular is the Titans show, and as well as the Young Justice, which we got a meaty trailer-esque like episode insight or episode like preview. And I'll say this about Titans. I watched that. I'm not for it.
What I gotta say is that I don't think it's putting off the series as it should. I think the trailer was horribly cut. It was horribly put together. And I don't think it's representative of what the show is going to be.
I hope you're right, because Dick Grayson does not feel like Dick Grayson. He feels like Jason Todd, and Jason Todd is also supposed to be in the show, which then makes me wonder how Jason Todd's going to be if Dick Grayson's acting like this. Because I feel like Jason Todd's in Dick Grayson's body from that trailer. And the dude's using like straight up guns. Now, is he killing people? No, it's not killing people in the trailer.
He didn't. Well, he kind of used a gun as Batman did in Batman v Superman, where he like shot around the people, but he didn't really shoot them. He used it kind of as a distraction.
Yeah, and then Starfire. Me for Starfire, the CGI just does not look good. And they said, wait until you see the trailer for the CGI. Wait until we see the trailer for the CGI. And we see it, and she doesn't look like Starfire at all. Like, we have better cosplay of women that are Starfire, and they do a better job for that. And I'm just like, it looks really bad for me in that aspect. Beast Boy just... I have no opinion on Beast Boy at that moment. It just, to me, is being like very edgy for the sake of being edgy. And I think, Jeff Johns is the one writing this. And I think there was a quote about this, actually. And I'm pretty sure he wanted... I don't want to like misquote him, so I'll...
He's basically saying that he's trying to echo George Perez's stuff.
Yeah. That's what I remember hearing about. We really wanted to lean into the idea that every Titan of these turns a door into another genre of racial, supernatural, and the horror. And the first seasons really focus on who Raven is and how the Titans galvanize around her. You see the tone in the trailer clearly. And he says like how that artist was very like, I don't want to say, was he controversial in like when he did like Titans?
He wasn't controversial. He was like looked up to.
Okay.
Because it was the team of Mark Wolfman and George Perez. They mean like the quintessential Titans run in the 80s. So.
Okay.
That's what he's trying to say.
Okay. Me, I just, I can't do it. I can't really go into that streaming app just for, like, the only show I'm looking forward to is Young Justice, and what I've seen from Young Justice, I fucking love. And
sorry, you can.
And I think the animation looks good. I think the art style looks good, and
I just don't like the costumes.
I mean, I'm indifferent to the costumes for me for Young Justice. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Like, lukewarm, I guess you could say. But from hearing the voice acting, hearing what the story is going to be, I'm all for it. and I'll use that streaming service just for the. I don't know, and I'm thinking what they're gonna try and do, and I'm hoping they can do a Netflix style approach where they release all the episodes at once. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna do an episode a week, and whenever it ends, and then I might just wait until it ends, and then do that month to binge it. But yeah, that's just me. I'm just not a big fan of Titans, and Young Justice looks promising for me. Yeah, I just can't wait. I'm a DC fan. What do you think about Titans?
Oh boy. It's not. I mean, the trailer just kind of left me like, it's just disappointing. Honestly, like, I mean, Robin's costume looked cool, but like his attitude about everything was just like, it was just weird, and like it felt like he just was Jason Todd in Dick Grayson's body. And I mean, I'm not a fan of Raven or Starfire. Beast Boy is fine, and Hawk and Dove, they're also all right, but it's not good enough for me. Like, there's nothing about it that makes me want to go, oh yeah, just go pay for the streaming service right now and I'll enjoy it. But, I mean, the only thing that looks good for the streaming service is Young Justice. Like, I really enjoyed that trailer. I'm kind of split down the middle of those costumes, but like, I don't know. But that's not enough to get me to pay like however much a month for it, or even pay for
Or a year.
Like, that's not good enough for that. So
I gotcha. Talia, what do you think about the Titans Young Justice?
Well, with Titans, I think it's gonna be interesting. Of course, it's dark and grittier, so I think it's gonna be one of those shows which I probably will tune into. Of course, the DC streaming service is not in the UK as of yet, so it's kind of sucks for me. I'll have to wait. So, another thing is though with Young Justice, I'm really excited to see that because it left on a big cliffhanger. But Doom Patrol and what's it called, so Doom Patrol and what was it? Swamp Thing. Yeah, that's go. Yeah, Swamp Thing. I'm really interested to see what they bring to the table. I already know that Cyborg's going to be in Doom Patrol, so it's going to be really interesting. And plus, there's comic books going to be on the app and everything. But I just think it's $7.99 is pretty much a ripoff. Like, you're paying $90. Yeah, $90. $91 a year you're paying.
I don't think it's a ripoff. I think it's a pretty good price. $7.99 is pretty for the amount of content that you're getting.
Right.
It's pretty good for the amount of content that you're getting. Rather, whether or not you don't or you do like what Titans looks like. Titans is not really the main thrust of the app. It's mainly just like the DC stuff in general, because it is a DC app, not just the Titans app.
Yeah, it's the DC app, but for me, I think personally, if they dropped it maybe $2 more, maybe it would be worth it, because I feel that it would be worth it in my opinion, because it's obviously cheaper than the WWE Network, and of course it's going to be cheaper than Netflix and Hulu. But I think in general, you're paying 70 quid a year if you get the yearly subscription. But if you pay the monthly subscription, you're getting ripped off because you're paying $90. You're paying it in the full year for 12 months It's $90 altogether, so it's not worth it in terms of monthly.
So I'll put this point. It's like I know where you're coming from, Inspector. In terms of the meat potatoes, like that's not what the app is trying to be. But for DC or whoever is promoting this, the forefront of it are these shows, though. Like you can't.
I know, but you're acting like the forefront is just Titans when
No,
it's
no,
like a bunch of other shows.
I know. But I'm saying the forefront is Doom Patrol, Swamp Thing, Young Justice, Titans, and
Stargirl, which
yeah.
just got announced, which
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to.
Stargirl. And my thing is, you know, we don't know the other shows, right? We don't. And that's true. But when you have just Young Justice and Titans, like you can only judge it from those two shows. And they want to be a streaming service like Netflix, like Hulu, like even HBO now. But it's not going to convince me to go like, okay, let me drop another thing because, you know, these shows are compelling. These shows are what I want. It's not there yet. And I think that's fine for it not being there yet. But they need to get ahead and have, you know, better marketing for, you know, let's say Titans, if that's the case of, you know, them not marketing that show right. And it could be an amazing show and the marketing is bad. Or, you know, vice versa. And it may actually be bad. We don't know. It's just we're judging, you know, off the trailer. And I just think
it's the first trailer.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it just needs to have a better marketing if that's the case. But if it's not the case, then they need to start, you know, hauling more money and getting, you know, better writers, you know, scripts and, you know, choreographs and all that stuff and CGI artists. And that's the thing. They have to spend as much as what I want to say. Hulu spend as much as Hulu if they want, because they want this in everyone's home. They don't just want it for the DC hardcore fans.
I mean, it is marketed towards the DC hardcore fans.
Yeah, but
that's
I'm saying
it's mainly marketed to because it says DC membership. The DC.
Yeah, I know, but DC also wants to be in everyone's home. That's also going to be.
I know, but I don't think they're trying to compete with Netflix because that's too big of a competition.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying that they want to be like Netflix. They want to be like Hulu. They want to be in everyone's home so they can get a lot of money out of that. Like the same thing what Disney's trying to do. They want to be in everyone's home. And that's why they're going to put so much money into this Disney app. And granted, you know, I don't know if I'm going to like that Disney app. And I said the same thing that I'm going to say now. If it's going to be the same way that, you know, DC is right now, I don't want that app. Like, and Disney needs to have a bunch of shows that are really good for me to get that app. And it's just like everyone wants to do this, you know, those type of apps to get in everyone's home to spend so much money. Now, I think though, like the biggest benefit for DC Universe is having those animated shows and animated movies. I just think marketing and leading your marketing with those shows, though, might be a double-edged sword. That's all I'm saying, though, for that.
I get it.
Okay.
Yeah. But more on the DC side, right? There was the Aquaman trailer and the Shazam trailer, which were really good, I think. I really liked Aquaman in terms of visuals, and there were no bubbles, thank goodness. And Mira looked awesome. You know, Mira just, whew. Yep, that's all I gotta say about Mira. If you've seen that trailer, she'll take your breath away. And I like Black Manta's design. It was really cool. And I just think I think it's gonna be a treat. I love Shazam's tome. It looks like a really good movie. I know Spectre hates the word fun, but it looks fun. It really does.
I don't hate the word fun.
I know it's overused, or that's what you were saying. It's overused.
It's overused in terms of Marvel movies.
Yeah, but I think it's fun. And But like
I
overall,
just hate. I don't hate the word. I just hate how it's
okay,
used.
yeah, I gotcha. It's like, I like both trailers. What do you think, Marvel DC fan, about the Aquaman and Shazam?
I mean, I really liked both of them. I can't pick one over the other. I liked them about the same. Like Aquaman looked great visually. I mean, like uh, everybody looked really cool, especially like Black Manta. I loved Black Manta's costume, and Shazam was really good. Like bringing that comedy in there. You know, seeing like if you were like say a 15-year-old kid, what would you do when you find out you have superpowers? You know, try them out, all that sort of, I love that. um yeah, but like I watched them back to back and I can't decide which one I like more. I love both of them equally,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm really excited.
Yeah, I do want to say about Shazam. The only nitpick I have is in the movie, and I was hoping they would try to fix this, but I don't think there's any workaround. I do feel like very much for Zachary Levi, it looks like a muscle suit, kind of, a lot, with the padding and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's just the lighting. I don't think the lighting does it really that well, but
Mm-hmm.
go ahead, Taladi, with your thoughts on the trailers.
I thought the what's it called trailer. I thought Aquaman trailer looked very, very good. I am very happy with what it came out with. I've got to say that the location as well, really good picking for the location. With Shazam looks to be a really fun movie to watch. I can't wait for that movie to come out. Because it had a lot of funny moments like, hey, can I fly? And then trying out the superhero powers, and what happens? You can't fly. So I'm very intrigued to see how exactly will this movie play out. Of course, this movie does tie into Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel, so we're gonna see how things turn up. Like if there's gonna be other superheroes involved, of course, like Superman or Wonder Woman. I would love to see that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll find out.
Do you think they'll ever mention Justice League, or you think it's just like?
That's a good question. For me, I think they might. They might. But I think they've already heavily hinted BVS and Man of Steel as it is.
Oh yeah. I agree with that. I'm saying, like, will it ever happen, or will it just be like
Maybe.
a thing in the past and they just don't want to mention that?
They might not, depending on how WB feels. They might not mention it because if you think about it, the Justice League sales didn't do really well, so they probably want to stay away from that. But if they look at Man of Steel and BVS, they look, okay, we can do those two movies, no problem,
Mm-hmm.
and we can mention that, and because those movies did really well on Blu-ray, DVD, and at the cinemas. So
I mean, like you can write it off as like a passive mention, like, oh yeah, there's that team of superheroes like out in the world there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't
they
think it would
they
hurt
could
just
do
doing
that. They could do that, but I feel as if they won't, because then WB is not going to chance it with this new thing they've got going now. They're not going to chance it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. What about you, Inspector?
I liked both of them. I liked the Aquaman trailer more, just because I think it looks really epic. I know there's a few people complaining or nitpicking that there's a little bit too much in the trailer. I can see that because it's a lot crammed in one trailer. Maybe they could have held off a bit, but I loved Black Manta. I loved the shot with all the trench where they were just like enveloping the wave. That was a great shot. I liked the Shazam trailer. The only thing that did kind of take me out was when he did the Fortnite dance. That kind of did throw me out a little bit, but I got back into the trailer after that. I felt it was kind of forced. I felt some of the jokes were kind of forced, but like that goes with the territory with this kind of superhero movie. And I do think that there are some shots in Aquaman that do need some touch-ups in terms of CGI. Like when he's jumping off the building, you can definitely tell that's a green screen.
Yeah.
Like, of course, they need to touch that up, but that's typical stuff in trailers. They always touch up the CGI by the time the movie comes out.
Yeah. And it comes out in December, so they have plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was also, it wasn't at Comic-Con. It was a week after. I believe it was a week after. They showed Venom, and man, oh man,
turd in the wind.
Turd in the wind. Venom looks freaking monstrous, and that's the definitive version of Venom, and that's what I've always wanted on the big screen for Venom. I didn't want that garbage Venom that was in Spider-Man 3. That was never Venom. I don't acknowledge him as Venom. I acknowledge him as the step brother of Venom or something like that. That was not my Venom. That never happened. This is happening now. And I love that he said the line of from a comic. I forgot what the comic was. About the eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time, and that was straight up ripped off from the comic book. And I was just, it was amazing, and just seeing also Venom's eyes, like form with like the like grin, just creeped me the fuck out. And it was, and they even show like some still shots of it, like how big this dude is, and I was just like, this is it. That Venom voice is the Venom voice, and I think Tom Hardy, fit that job. He's playing both, both Venom and Eddie Brock, and he's a good actor. And do I think the CGI with that big final fight scene? Yeah, that needs to be touched up, of course. And with Venom, the symbiote talking to Eddie Brock, that does need to be touched up a bit. But overall, I enjoyed the trailer. This is like the Venom I've always wanted on the big screen. And there are some lines that are a little questionable with the turn the wind thing, but it was just hearing the threats about eating his arms, legs, and all that, and then seeing that, the bite scene, and supposedly in Comic-Con, you actually get to see that, and it's supposed to be bloody. And I just, hopefully this is still rated R, because if it is, this is going to be a treat for me. What do you think, Marvel DC fan?
I mean, like, I really like the trailer myself. Like, I mean, there were some points like near the end with like that shot of the two like symbiotes fighting each other. Like that was a little like dodgy, but like that's things that they'll probably touch up before the movie comes out. And I liked the joke at the end up until he said "turd in the wind."
Yeah.
That just kind of threw me off a little bit, but I liked the joke afterward with him, like Eddie, just being like, "Oh yeah, that's just a parasite." Like,
dark, twisted sense of humor.
Yeah, that's the only thing that like threw me off, like at the end of the trailer, like is that stupid "turd in the wind" line. And also like there were some points where it was kind of hard to like understand what he said, and it took like another viewing just to see like. Was like, oh yeah, he just said that, but I mean that's only the two only kind of or three nitpicks I have about the whole thing. But I am really excited for the movie to come out, and we'll finally get a good Venom on the big screen.
Yep, gotcha. What about you, Talati? What do you think?
Venom looks to be a really good movie. I mean, I watched the movie, the trailer, and I was just like, wow. Now, of course, it's not going to feature Spider-Man, but I think in the near future there will be. there'll be some Spider-Man, but I'm just wondering how will the other symbiotes be in play when it comes down to the sequels and shit? Because with this movie, I feel as if this movie is a stepping stone in the right direction for what a Venom should have been about compared to that Spider-Man 3 movie, which it never did reach that potential. So that's what I'm going to say about that.
Yep. What do you think, Inspector?
I'm gonna be the only one that said I don't really like the trailer that much. It's like this whole movie as a whole isn't really grabbing me. I'm just not interested. There are a few cool scenes. I think Venom looks really good. Like I think the CGI on Venom looks really good, except at the end when like it's like half Tom Hardy's face and half Venom face. That really needs to be touched up a bit. And I do not like Tom Hardy's like accent that he's doing. I find it really distracting. Like his accent in Eddie Brock form. He's doing like that lisp that he did in Legend, and it's very distracting to me. It almost seems like he's trying to hide his British accent like really badly, but we know that he can hide his accent great. But here it just sounds like he's trying to hide it very poorly. I mean, there were cool shots in the trailer, but I just wasn't impressed by it.
All right, gotcha. Gotta say, the silver, black and silver, or whatever, silver and black, is not happening anymore. It seems like now they're being split up now, or something like that, or Black Cat's just gonna have her own individual film. Seems that way. I could be completely wrong. But what do we think? Me personally, it's like I don't think they know what they're doing right now at this point for this Black Cat Silver Sable, and I'm just like, I mean, just Black Cat. I feel like as an independent film, and what I mean by independent of Spider-Man, I don't think could work. I mean, you can try and make it as a burglar-esque, like, movie, like her stealing things and, a heist movie, I guess. But I just don't see it. Like, I feel like the best interactions for her would be with, Spider-Man. And that's just me. Silver Sable, yet again, don't see it as like something I could see as another independent film from Spider-Man. Feel like her being as a mercenary, I mean, you could try and tell an interesting story of her leading her mercenary group to do some wet work. I don't know. But I just feel like it's a mess at that point for them, like, oh, let's just make it independent and not have them together. I don't know. What do you think, Marvel DC fan?
I mean, like the whole like cinematic universe that they're putting forward now, I think like it's not great. It's not really just a good idea. I mean, like the movies that are like they're already like in production, like you got like Silver Sable, Black Cat, Morbius, like those kind of characters. I don't like it's just like they're not interesting on their own. Like Black Cat, like she's only interesting when Spider-Man is involved. And I mean, people can like make the case for like Venom or whatever, but Venom is like he is interesting on his own. Like that kind of like he's like an anti-hero that finds like let's like Spider-Man as a villain of some sort.
And especially with his like comic series right now, like Spider-Man's not even a part of that. It's really, really good.
I know, but so, like, I think the complaint with Venom is that originally Venom.
Yeah, I know, like bonded to Spider-Man first.
Yeah, so that's why people are saying you can't have Venom without Spider-Man. Like I agree and disagree. Like Venom as a character like as a character, Eddie Brock as Venom, you don't really need Spider-Man, but I think the Venom symbiote, you kind of do need Spider-Man. But I think more people connect to Flash Thompson as Venom than they do as Eddie Brock.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like in terms of the other movies, it's just like, I mean, I would have like waited until like after Venom came out, like to see where that would go from. But like, it's just it's just not selling for me at all. So
Yep. All right. What about you, Salada? What do you think about that? Black and silver and black, and them being split
Good
up,
move.
and
It's a good move.
Hmm.
Because putting them together, it's a big yikers, right? But if you separate them, then you can do a really good story. Think about it. Black Cat, a solo Black Cat story in a movie would be really good. And the Silver Sable story, you could do like an origins based around her. That would be really cool to see. Based of operations and how she became an assassin, so to say. And with Black Cat, you can do like how her and her father became the Black Cat, or something along those lines, which would be really cool to see.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what about you, Inspector? What do you think?
I also think it was a good move to cancel it. I don't think it was a good idea to have Silver and Black movie in the first place. I think it was really out of left field, and I don't think Black Cat and Silver Sable are people that you use to front a movie. I just don't think like they're supporting characters. Like Black Cat is basically Catwoman, but I think Catwoman stands more on her own than Black Cat. And and plus, I hate to say this about Black Cat, but she's mainly used especially in like the early to mid 2000s as kind of like a sex object. Because she was, of course, like especially like when she was drawn by Terry Dodson, but Terry Dodson always draws like pinup girls, so. But she's always like, it's always that Spider-Man is interested, like Spider-Man, especially like in the mid 2000s, like he was married to Mary Jane, but he was always interested in Black Cat on the side. So she's just not a character that I would say can hold her own movie.
Yeah. All right. So there's one more thing. Well, actually, there's two for the CW. Oh, there was the Flash trailer, Arrow trailer, and we'll go into another set of news with another new character.
I didn't watch those.
Which one?
I didn't watch the trailers.
Up to that.
Well, actually, I did. I watched the one with the when they teased Batwoman at the end.
Okay. So, I guess what we won't talk about. Did you hear about the Grant Gustin and like people like making?
Oh yeah, they're live streaming him. Yeah.
Yeah. Me, it's like, just don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't know why you would.
Yeah, it's not good.
And it's like he can't help it. It's like genetics. Like there's some people that can be muscular. There's some people that can't be muscular.
I'm like him. Like I have a fast metabolism and I'm skinny. I can't really gain that much weight.
Yeah.
But it's like whatever.
Yeah, it's just like can't. It's is what it is. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about that?
I mean, like, it's just the only thing to really say about it is it's just awful.
Yeah.
Completely awful. But
And what about you, Talada? What do you think?
I think the Grant Gustin thing is just out of proportion. Well, out of proportion. I think it's stupid, firstly. And I think the trailers look really good. So, yeah.
All right. So they did announce Batwoman will be going to the crossover event. Is that near November, December, or October? No. October is when they start
December.
out. December. Also, right?
December.
Yeah, I think December.
Beginning
Okay.
of December, 9th, 10th, and 11th.
And I believe also in the crossover event, Supergirl, Superman is supposed to be showing up too.
Yeah, Superman and Lois. They just
Lois.
announced that.
Yeah. So the big story, they did get casting. Ruby Rose was casted. It was very interesting. It just because of what happened and some misinformation also spread. She was attacked, yes, on social media platforms like Twitter, and many people like IGN talked about it. And many people assumed it was the comic book fans that rebelled about the casting choice. That actually wasn't the case. I don't think anyone was really complaining about Ruby Rose being Batwoman at all. What turned out to be happening was actually the LGBT community was saying some interesting things about Ruby Rose, saying that she wasn't gay enough, and also that she's not Jewish to play Batwoman.
Like, not only is that not gay enough comment stupid, like the actress herself doesn't need to be Jewish to play a Jewish character. That's just stupid.
I don't understand what gay, like not gay enough means. It's
Me neither.
Does that mean because she's sexy or something like that? Then is that not gay enough, or is it? I just don't understand what not gay enough means.
Me neither. It's a stupid thing to say.
Yeah, and I was just like, and she left. Like I think she left Twitter because of that, and I was like, and also like I don't know why people assumed it was comic book fans that were saying that it wasn't the case.
Like I was all for the casting, even though I've never like heard of her before.
Yeah, which made no sense as to why people assumed it was comic book fans. It wasn't comic book fans. It was the community for LGBT, which I think they should be ashamed for doing that. Yeah. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, like when she got cast, I mean, I never heard of her before, but like I liked the casting. Like it seemed to fit well, and from what I saw of like people on Twitter, and like they seemed to enjoy it. And then I remember it was like a few days later I saw something about like she quit Twitter and that kind of stuff, and and after hearing what really happened with that, it's just like terrible with these comments. Like, I mean, like, you're right. Like, you don't need to be Jewish to play like a Jewish character. And I mean, like, they've got like, they have like British people playing American characters, and I mean that's not really new or.
Oh! Let's not get to the point where we're race bending dogs.
It's just yeah. Like it's just that.
I knew you would get a chuckle out of that, Red Hood.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah. But anyway, I mean, those comments are just terrible, and they should feel like ashamed for that.
What do you think, Taladia, about the whole situation?
The whole situation is the people who's done this should be ashamed of themselves, and hopefully she can move on from this and just let the whole thing go, and she can come back to Twitter. And hopefully things should be fine then.
I just think like a community like that should be helping one another and not pulling each other down. And that shouldn't be that, but society nowadays is messed up. So
I mean, like you think like in the landscape of comic book movies and TV show, like you think like they would applaud like the fact that they would be adapting like an LGBT character in their mainstream TV shows and that sort of thing.
Yeah. That's gonna actually be it for the episode. We may have not gotten to some topics, but we'll talk about that next episode. Wednesday 9 p.m. Eastern time. It was great to be back. It was great talking all these gaming news topics, movie news, TV news. Wait, I did want to say one more thing. They did release Iron Fist Season 2 trailer, and they did say Daredevil will be coming out later this year. That's been confirmed by Netflix CEO. And Iron Fist Season 2 trailer looks miles better than Season 1, because the showrunner for Season 1's gone. Let he never touch another Marvel or even a DC show. That man should be banished from making TV shows. That man should
not be named.
That man shouldn't even touch a damn animated show for kids. Overall, yeah, I really liked it. Fight choreograph scenes for that trailer are awesome. They did say it's going to be 10 episodes instead of 13 episodes. I think they're listening to fan feedback because some fans have said, they believe that Netflix shows do drag, and they're like, all right, let's make it 10 episodes. So they're making it 10 episodes instead of the 13 episodes, and we will see if this formula works for these Netflix shows. I don't know if Daredevil will be adopting it. We don't know. It is coming out this year, and maybe it will, maybe it won't. But a Marvel DC fan, did you see the trailer for Iron Fist Season 2?
Yes, I did. And yeah, it was like miles better than like what they showed off for like Season 1. I mean, like, all I have to say, like, for right now is that, like, I have faith in the show, but I'm gonna wait until until it comes out, and then people start talking about it, and then maybe I'll give it a chance myself. But also, Daredevil, I'm really excited for.
Yeah, I believe they gave some episodes to the press already, along with the Iron Fist. I think Grace Randolph has like watched it. Yeah. I believe, because she wasn't able to name it. She's like, another Marvel Netflix show I got, and I was like, you basically kind of named it. So I don't know if that goes against your NDA or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you, Taladia? Have you seen the trailer? And what do you think?
No.
You haven't? All right, that's fine. I'm gonna assume Inspector hasn't. You haven't, Inspector?
Yeah, I watched like the little 1-minute teaser.
Oh, okay. I was talking more of the bigger one that showed like the fight scenes. Okay,
I didn't watch that.
That's fine. I guess we'll do the outros now. So for me, you guys, if you did enjoy the podcast, make sure to hit that like button. It is greatly appreciated. Also, do you want to say thank you for like DMV fan, for, talk in the chat. You sir are awesome. As well as if you guys are watching this as a past broadcast, make sure to comment below what you guys are thought about the topics, and also what you want us to talk about next podcast, and also your opinions on said topics that we talked about. And make sure to also follow my Twitter at RedHood240. So you can see my streams tweeted out, possible videos tweeted out, and and also later today, maybe in 30 minutes or so, I will be live streaming Metal Gear Solid 5 and probably finishing the game. So look forward to that. And I have no idea what I'll be playing instead, because I have a problem with streaming the PS3, because it's HDCP protection, and it's not like you're able to turn it off on the PS4, and I have to use a converter. So we might put the Metal Gear Solid series on hold for the live streams for them and find another game in the meantime until Spider-Man PS4, because I am planning on live streaming Spider-Man PS4. And if you haven't already, check out my Twitch at RedHood420. And right now is unusual for me streaming more than I'm supposed to be this week. It's because the week has started for school. I just don't have much work. But next week we will be getting into the normal schedule for college, and I'll be streaming, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And if I don't have, much homework on a certain day, then Tuesday and Thursday I may stream. But I highly doubt that at the moment. But make sure to tune in for that. And do you want to say thank you guys for watching? And Marvel DC fan, where can they find you at?
Well, on my of course, my YouTube channel, Marvel DC Fan X99, and you can also follow me on Twitter, which is at Marvel DC Fan X99. I'm starting to get my YouTube back in the swing of things. We've been kind of absent for a lot of the summer. Now that's primarily my bad because of scheduling conflicts and all types of other stuff. But we're getting live streams and playthroughs continuing onward, mainly with Arkham City. So don't be sure to check that out. And thank you all for watching, and take care.
All right. What about you, Talada? Where can they find you at?
You can find your boy on Twitter at mtaladia. You can also find me on Twitch, which is Taladia Plays. Where currently I'm not streaming at the moment, but at the 7th of September, I will be back to streaming, and I'll be doing Spider-Man PS4 exclusively launch night, and I'll be doing hunting for the Homecoming suit, and we'll be doing a lot of side mission. We're doing the main story as well, but we'll be looking for new stuff. And on top of that, guys, I am also doing collab videos with Iridian Gamer. We're talking past Spider-Man videos and stuff, so that'll be gotta keep a lookout for that. But if you do enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button. That'd be very much appreciated. And subscribe to Red Hood as well. Make sure you go check out his streams. That'd be very much appreciated. And come back to my streams as well. Come follow me. I don't bite. We have a laugh and a chill. And pretty much I stream 4 hours a day. So you can chill and relax. You can talk to me about comic books all night long.
And Inspector, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at the Inspector, and I have another podcast called 52 Pickup with another group of friends. I'm not on it every week, but I'm on it most of the time, so you can check me out there too.
Nice. You gotta send me the link so I can put all that stuff down for this podcast. So, do you want to say thank you guys for tuning in? Make sure to also hit that subscribe button with the bell notification so you guys get updated for the Overleveled podcast when we go live. Do you want to say yet again thank you guys for watching? DMV fan, you're awesome. Chief, also thank you for coming to the live stream. And this is the Overleveled podcast signing off.
Bye guys.
See ya.
See ya.